very little water and just blend and then take it. Well, usually they'll say take it once. So it's good. It has many benefits for skin, for blah, 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 immunity, blah, blah, blah. But I was taking it especially for my cough. And it's been helpful. And thank you for all the love I got. Because a lot of people that watch were like, I heard you coughing. And then, I'd not been on the show 2 days. Like, is that why you in bed? No. But I'll do much better. Good to be back.
Fantastic. Yeah. I love your outfit.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning it. So this is my birthday gift from House of BC. And I've been waiting for like the best time to. So I went deliberately, specifically to have my nails done in blue. Because I had to wear it for her well.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
This is actually gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
How you doing, Alaja Nima Akashat Zabiri?
I survived holidays.
What happened?
So every day, I'm taking every day by day. We didn't buy anything yesterday. So my daughter had called me when I was at work yesterday asking for pocket money that I didn't drop money for her to buy snacks. So I told them no snacks this holiday, and we made it one day at a time. Today is another day. I'm just surviving each day. I went to the office yesterday. I had 2 meetings. I deliberately said I'll do them at the office because they're online Zoom. And I sat in the office and thought I have kids at home who might have broken the rule and bought something and left and got home. And I forgot my meetings. So I had to do them at home.
Yikes.
And so it's not usually convenient to do them, but I'm grateful. Everything worked out well. So 9:30, when we finished the last one, everybody made it. We survived. So thank God. I'm making it a day at a time.
Amaka Fresh.
Hi, darling.
How you doing?
I'm good. Staying happy.
Yeah.
I spent.
I'm fresh.
After work yesterday, I spent time with my brother. I told my oldest brother to bring me around from Canada. So he has all these huge friends everywhere coming to pick him up. So I had a great time. I laughed a lot.
What is your brother's friends? None of them big guy.
Back to the conversation.
Thank you.
So you don't want it for yourself? No. Okay, for her.
I'm just saying.
So back to what I did.
Let's talk about. Let's table this matter.
I don't
because me, I'm looking forward to a Yovu wedding.
Yeah, so
Yovu wedding. It will be so beautiful to have that.
They want to have enjoyment.
It will shut down Lagos. Hey, imagine here.
That Amaka Fresh is getting
And my mom is watching this thing, and now if you don't like me, I thought he loved me.
Sorry. What are you doing?
So how was your day?
So yesterday was great. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm looking forward to tomorrow is the Africa Praise Experience at House on the Rock. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be emceeing there, so I'm pretty excited. I was there yesterday for test run, and there was another thing I was going to say today, but I forgot. But I'm so excited. I mean, it's just good to be alive.
Yes.
My kids are obeying my rules. I'm really excited. So I came in yesterday and and I told them TV starts 10 to 12 and then 4 to 7. I didn't realize that, and they actually adhere to it.
Yes.
Like
children love structure.
I'm telling
I saw
you,
you challenge JT. They are go.
Yeah.
So even I came in yesterday at about 9 o'clock and I said I was still watching TV. I said this TV was supposed to go off 9 o'clock. You realize that. Can we make a change? Should we remove the 10 to 12 and just say TV starts at 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. or to 9 p.m. and you're good? They said they prefer the 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. So we have so 10 to 12, no more TV. I came in the afternoon, they're listening to radio.
Yeah.
They are outside.
Find a way.
They are getting pen and my other daughter was taking toothpicks, gluing it, making design. I'm like,
give them structure.
I was shocked. So I mean, kids, they just give them the rules.
Yes. And even when they flout it, they recognize that they have done it. So they are even willing to accept the consequence or, apologize for it. It's when you don't give them, you wake up in the morning and everybody's just going left, right, and center.
Well, how is the food? Is your fridge still, what's going on?
That one you cannot talk about it. There's no discussing that one.
It's weekend that we restock. Anything you finish, finish in 2 days.
But you know something I did yesterday? My mom used to apply this rule. Eat at home. And I told my kids, eat at home. Simple, no snacking. So we followed it yesterday. I came back and I saw my madam had come home to fill her plate for lunch and she couldn't finish it. She brought it to come home. So this morning I finished my jollof rice. It's fried meat very well. There's food at home. See you people when I come back. That's the rule.
I'll stock up my food on weekends. During the week, please. You finish all the apples, the bread.
You are still providing. Okay, bread is okay. You're providing snack. What they want is the egg rolls, the fish rolls, the donuts,
and
osaye.
And even buy those ones.
So no, there's a there's a person on my street.
I'm
demonstrating towards the mommy right now.
You know that mommy will pay later.
She's frying it fresh and waiting for them to pass and reminding them.
But you give them plantain chips at least.
Yeah, I mean,
be nice.
They know that chips are mine. They don't touch the plantain chips. When mommy brings in chips, and they have to ask for permission. What they are allowed to, they have their biscuits, they have their own thing that they eat. But plantain chips, you don't touch it.
You don't touch it.
Until mommy says you can. They come to me for it because they know I'm the one that takes plantain chips.
They know you're addicted.
Let's go on a break. It's Thursday, it's our gisting day. That's why we had to banter a lot. But when we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. August 1 planned protest similar to #EndSARS governors warn. Livestock Reforms Panel report on farmer-herder conflict ready in 2 weeks. Sanwo-Olu seeks more investment in IT, healthcare and transportation. Edun 2024 budget will be fully implemented. Labour Party accuses its elected members of being behind crisis. Most wanted Lagos drug baron nabbed after gun duel. Southeast Development Commission excites Ohaneze and governors. Trial of 300 terrorism suspects resumes. Okay, which story?
There was an outpouring of gratitude by Igbo leaders yesterday over the signing into law of the Southeast Development Commission Establishment Bill. We're excited about this one. This is believed that it will address the marginalization concerns in the region. House of Representatives Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, and Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide said the president has done what his predecessors had failed to do over the years. Kalu noted that with the development, President Tinubu has successfully addressed the perceived post-Civil War neglect of the region. The Deputy Speaker also, who sponsored the bill, told reporters that for about 54 years after the Civil War, no administration could actualize the post-Civil War rehabilitation, reconstruction, and reconciliation policy. This bill has been pushed 3 times in the House, and finally it was passed during President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's regime. He also emphasized on the fact that the PDP government in the past years could not do this and establish this. So they are so happy that this was done. The Commission will receive and manage funds from the allocation of the Federation account for the reconstruction and rehabilitation of roads, houses, other infrastructural damages suffered by the zone as a result of the Civil War. It will also tackle ecological problems and other related environmental or developmental challenges in the southeast states, including Abia, Imo, Enugu, Anambra, and Ebonyi. This particular bill failed to be passed into by the 8th and 9th National Assembly, and we're happy that it's been done.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That story?
Yeah, I got the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. They have arrested the head of the Mushin Lagos drug cartel, Alhaji Suleiman Jimo, alias Olowo Idiogede. He is popularly known as Temo, and he's 57 years old. If you read this report, it was like a movie, like all those Mexican drug cartel movies. So he's well known, and he has evaded arrest for over 2 years. You know, NDLEA has been trying to get in touch with him. They said they had missed several seizures that had been, that are associated with him. They said some of the seizures include this 14,524.8 kilograms of Ghana loud that was, seized. It was smuggled from Ghana. It was smuggled into Lagos from Ghana, and then there was a J5 bus. This drug was in 2 trucks and a J5 bus. It was intercepted at Ojuelegba. This happened 28th of January. And many other times, there was another substance over 8,852 kilograms also at Eleko Beach, all associated with him. So they talked about this particular day that they got him. NDLA officials, got into his enclave. He got into a Mercedes-Benz trying to escape. His people actually got in a gun duel with operatives, NDLA operatives. Thankfully, they gave into what NDLA described as superior power, and he was arrested. And this is a big deal. He's a huge...
They should arrest him. They should know what to do.
He's a huge... Well, they will do their part, and then constitutions do, the rest. Judiciary, So, the NDLA boss, too, is really happy about it. He says he's most happy that, there were no casualties involved, and he was gotten right there in his, domain. And a message to all the others that are still in the business: the NDLA will not relent, and they will get you eventually.
Okay, so
all right.
The major headline, of course, addressing the August 1st promised protest that is, being planned nationwide. The governors, each state governors, according to the nation, starting from Governor Abiodun of Ogun State, the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, that of Bayelsa State, they all spoke at different occasions. Also, the Southeast governors spoke in one voice through their chairperson, who is the governor of Imo State, Opuzodima, and they all spoke against this planned protest, saying that they will not allow it in their various domains, that there's no room for the kind of chaos and havoc that was wreaked around the country during the 2020 EndSARS protest, and that that should not be allowed. Also, the IG had used the opportunity just some days back, which was also captured in this report, to warn that the police will try as much as possible to prevent any of such protests. But in the entire thing, they admitted that they acknowledge the freedom of protest, but it must be peaceful. It must be just the peaceful protest, and there's no room for hijacking. I'm taking this story particularly because the Oba of Benin, the Obayoware II, joined voices with them to say, give more time to the president to actualize, or before we cancel completely his policies, to see how it works. Also calling for peace and saying that there should be no such protest. And I saw that online people were coming for the Oba as if, when the elders sit down, they should allow such protests. We must admit that even though there were grounds for the EndSARS at the time, there were those who took advantage of it and broke and stole and killed and caused mayhem. And we should not allow Nigeria get to that point again. I said it yesterday, I'm still saying that's my personal opinion. We should not allow that kind of chaos happen again, where people take advantage of it and rickshaws. A group of people from Kaduna were saying they lost money. And we saw what happened at the Bode Thomas end of town, how people's investments were taken. So we should try and do what we do.
So for those of us who are really looking forward to the end of the farmer-herder clashes, so Professor Hatahiru Jega, who is the chairman of the Livestock Reform Committee, will be submitting a report to the president in 2 weeks. He's quite confident that this report actually will provide a lasting solution to the lingering conflicts between farmers and herders. He also said that the report would add tremendous value to the livestock sector and mitigate associated crises. So I'm looking forward to that, because this has been a major issue. Even on the phone yesterday, our callers did call in that we're having issues with farmers running away from the farms because of these insecurities. So whatever plans he has for that, we'll be looking forward to see it. Okay, the Punch. Very quickly, Governor's Minister meet today to stop hunger protests. Mayhem as Fubara Wike supporters clash in Rivers. Dangote local refineries to end fuel importation. FG scholars decry 56% allowance cut, fear expulsion. Picture story here. Pilot hospitalized as plane crashes and kills 18 in Nepal. Foreign education forex allocation tumbles to 83%. Residents groan over Lagos Air Force Base blackout. And Oyo plans fresh selection process for Alafin. Okay.
Let me take a short one. So this is in Rivers State, Port Harcourt. They said, sadly, there was a crash that led to a baby being tear gassed and is unconscious right now. This happened on Wednesday. So they said that there was a health outreach that was taking place in, how do they pronounce it? Sorry, I missed it here. Eliozu Health Center. And it happened close to the house of the Speaker of the state House of Assembly, and he's known to be a wiki loyalist and had come in to find out what was happening. And then those who were at the outreach, especially those who were also who were described as being loyalists to Fubara, tried to stop them, these people, from gaining access into the outreach. And before you knew it, there were raised voices, and then they were throwing stones at each other. And then, of course, anti-riot police arrived a few moments later, firing tear gas into the air. Of course, everyone dispersed, and unfortunately, a poor child was caught in the middle of this. I do hope that this child, gets better from this. But obviously, we see some things don't need to happen the way we respond.
Let's go on a short break. When we come back and continue with our review, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name na Chika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire. My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen.
And this na Abigail.
And I dare on top your view pigeon.
I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man disappear.
Again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody. When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart, you don't vex, don't give signs.
If they look for person we go give them to you, fact as he be.
Men no dey ever get fault.
If baby not there for her,
na the woman.
Talk no dey be person, make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we know say if we open curtain in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
Look, we no even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man.
And that's some poria.
I wish to welcome you all to the Global Technology Africa Summit.
Our work encompasses a range of initiatives shaping a brighter future for Africa through the power of technology.
And I love talking about Nigeria's digital environment because you have some of the best laws on the continent.
How can we use technology to enhance productivity? We can change the narrative and get our people to invest more in technology.
We need Africa to help us all together solve the problems that the world is facing. We're doing that, but we can't do it without Nigeria.
Entertainment for me, first of all, I say it's a vocation, is work for me. It's a way of life that brings about merriment, relaxation, and it's happiness. It's everything good put together. Anything at all just to make you happy, give you joy, make you laugh, make you dance. Entertainment is a way of life for everyone.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Let me take a report from Central Bank of Nigeria. So Nigerians have spent $38.17 million on foreign education between January 2024 and March 2024. That's January, February, that's 3 months. According to this data, the amount actually crashed 83% compared to last year, January to February, because the numbers between last year, January, first quarter last year, was $218.87 million that Nigerians had spent on foreign education. This data, according to the report, the decrease in forex spending for foreign education occurred amid a crash in international student enrollment at United Kingdom. So there was actually a crash in enrollment. And this data was collected from Enroll, which is used by 60 universities in the UK. They indicated a decline in interest amongst international students studying in the UK, evidenced by a significant drop in deposit payments compared to the previous year. So obviously people couldn't afford to make payment as they did last year.
Yeah.
So there's been a huge drop in
Yes,
foreign
I have a
education.
very sad story, picture story in the Punch. Yesterday, there was a plane crash in Nepal and 18 passengers died. The bodies have been recovered and taken in for post-mortem. But the pilot miraculously survived, but he's in a very, very critical state now and he's been hospitalized. This plane had just taken off at the Kathmandu airport, just a bit around the runway, crashed on the runway and caught fire, split into two and burnt totally, completely. Eyewitnesses were giving giving the account of what happened. They said he veered off to the right and around the east side of the runway, and that was it. He crashed, and such a short crash and killed everyone except the pilot. But there was also an account that it was a maintenance flight. Different accounts of it. It was just for a test run. But I wonder if 19 people would fly a plane just for maintenance.
Yeah. So I have foreign scholars under the federal government's bilateral educational agreement scholarship on Wednesday lamented the sudden deduction of the allowances by the Federal Scholarship Board. The affected scholars and parents, they've lamented the government's decision, expressing fears of expulsion and deportation. What this is, this bilateral education agreement scholarship, it fosters educational partnership between Nigeria and foreign countries like Morocco, Russia, Algeria, and other countries. Although the students are crying the fact that the government has been owing them these allowances for 14 months, actually, before coming up with this deduction. So they say that they are stranded, they've had to go work or look for other means, and their greatest fear now is expulsion and deportation. So I hope they find a way around this. Or they should have given them prior notice to this deduction so that they can make, they can look for alternative sources.
I think it was a dollar issue. The government wasn't able to get money to them. I don't know. I mean, it's just really sad. Yeah, really stranded. Moving on now to Vanguard. Hardship will handle planned protests as family matters, says federal government. Terrorism. FG resumes mass trial of over 300 suspects, says ONSA. Hardship. Stranded foreign scholars groan as federal government slashes allowances. Insecurity perpetrated by organized non-state actors, says Tinubu. Meta releases 63,000 Nigerian accounts linked to sextortion.
Look at that. 63,000 Nigerians.
So who's investors at Business Summit? Who has this extortion story?
It's me.
Elijah, you took that story.
63,000.
Okay, so Meta, that's a parent company for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, said that 63,000 accounts associated with the notorious Yahoo Boys scam group was deleted from their platform in their Q1 2024 adversarial threat report on Wednesday. It said they deleted these accounts that were used for financial sextortion, scams, and distributing blackmail scripts. And they reported that a smaller network of about 2,500 accounts linked to around 20 individuals primarily targeted men in the US using fake identities. And they identified and disabled those accounts through a combination of advanced technical signals and comprehensive investigation to enhance their automatic detection system. And the financial extortion is a borderless crime. You know how it works, and we have a lot of victims claiming that they suffered it. But they said Nigerians specialize in different types of those scams, and they have about 63,000 of such accounts in Nigeria attempting to target people with financial extortion scams including coordinated network of about 2,500 accounts. It's just sad that, we have this, but I hope they will take the account, because we know some countries also have. I'm not making an excuse for Nigeria, just to know that other people too are doing it, especially in Asia. They should also publish. They should also publish.
Yes. Let me take the major headline in the Vanguard. So the federal government yesterday said they'll handle this issue of protest as a family matter. I was speaking yesterday. According to the report here, President has said that they pleaded the Nigerians for more time, promising that all the issues that have been raised will be addressed. If you also recall, Labour has also asked the federal government to ensure they call the organizers of these protests to address the grievances Nigerians are facing in general. However, the SGF, that's the SGF of the Federation, George Akume, yesterday, alongside the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, were saying that they have come together to discuss, and they can see that the happenings at the FEC meeting, people are quite concerned about this planned protest, but they are going to discuss all the issues in national interest, and all of us are working together to hope and believe in Nigeria and ensure that this protest, although it is legal for them to do a protest, but they must understand that it's a family matter that we can discuss and express where they're coming from, and understand that the people who are protesting are their brothers and sisters, and must also understand where they're coming from, and hopefully they can find a middle ground. So this is a family matter, this is a Nigerian family issue, and all of us are looking at this issue very well, and we hope that peace will prevail at the end of the day. Okay, any other story in Vanguard?
Yes, I do. The federal government said yesterday it has resumed mass trial of persons allegedly involved in terrorism and suspects of other heinous crimes against the Nigerian state. Spokesman of the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Abu Michael, who disclosed this, said that the resumed trial is in pursuance with government's commitment to promote social justice by entrenching transparent administrative system. This ongoing trial is in line with the international criminal justice system, and is being administered by the Federal High Courts, also with the Complex Case Work Group, the CCG, of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, and it's in collaboration with other critical stakeholders, because this is a terrorist terrorist trial, so there are stakeholders involved, and it's being supervised by the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Office of National Security Advisor. So this is a good one. Let's see what out of it. Yes.
And then I have our president. He was represented by the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. He was talking about the ravaging insecurity in the country, and they said that this is being perpetrated by well-organized non-state factors. They said, he's saying that what needs to be done going forward is law enforcement agencies need to work together. The rivalry between interagencies needs to stop. They need to work together to see to this. They said the security situation in the country is a complex blend of threats posed by well-organized non-state actors. They talked about, they said we are seeing cybercrime also increasing, and government in his own way, especially policy-wise, is trying to tackle that as well. They're also going to be helping the police, beefing up police through procurement of sufficient arms, weapons, and other critical equipment. They will also beef up recruitment. There will be continuous training to boost the number, quality, and preparedness of our police personnel. And then, they work together with all the other agencies so that we'll see a better Nigeria security-wise.
Okay, the New Telegraph. Abacha family drags Tinubu Wiki others to appeal court over the Abacha property. Tinubu has sent to Southeast Northwest Development Commission bills. Planned protest, FG appeals to call for calm and pleads for more time. NLC leaders working with APC to destroy our party, says LP. And is there another story?
Let me take the Abacha family. So,
it's been a while.
The Abacha family had gone on appeal to the appeal court, actually, over their property that is located in Maitama district of Abuja. This said property had its papers revoked by the FCT, and it was sold to a private company, Salammed Ventures Limited, without their knowledge, according to them. And they had gone to court, and they had their suit dismissed by the Federal High Court before Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court, and so they took the matter on appeal. So the appeal court, and now they've added the president, the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, as well as
Okay,
let me get my other phone. They've involved in it, of course. Every party involved.
Our final paper, the Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story of not taking Dangote refinery. Man shareholders warn against the marketing of local industries. Navy uncovers illegal bunkering in sites in the private residence. 420,000 die from consumption of unsafe food yearly, and more groups condemn planned nationwide protests. Okay.
Man has, do we have time for that? Okay. Has cautioned the federal government against demarketing local industries. So we have a day called Civil Society and Religious Group probe into activities of NNPCL. Okay, this was based on the allegations against Dangote refinery that the diesel that they refine is of low quality, and they said that this is not right. That the federal government should be doing that. In fact, they specifically called out the NMDPR boss, for even saying that. They said that especially with Dangote, the stakeholders in this industry are saying that especially with Dangote especially, has invested a lot in, locally, and that should be appreciated and commended. And they said that with the refinery going off, it will save Nigeria over 30% of our foreign exchange that we use in importation. So we should see government supporting this business instead of trying to demarket it with some of the things that we have heard recently in the
that's
news.
all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. We're going to short break. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Hi, this is Dr. Abiola Salami.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name is Nachika Okeke.
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen.
And this na Abigail.
And I day on top of you, pigeon.
I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man
you no go see am again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody. When they find the husband, you not see sign say the guys, nothing, you don't vex, don't you sign.
If they look for person we go give them to you, fact as it be.
Men no dey ever get fault. If baby no dey for her, na the woman.
Talk no dey be person, make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we know say if we open curtain in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We no even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man.
And that's some poria.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer positive force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Rush on.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big.
Thanks for staying with us. So this morning, we'll be discussing Chidimma Adetshina. For those of you that don't know who she is, she recently became Miss South Africa in South Africa, and there has been a controversy over her emergence as Miss South Africa. According to many of her critics, they're saying that her parents are illegal immigrants. Her father is Nigerian, her mother is Mozambican. So many South Africans are saying she doesn't deserve to be Miss South Africa. She's not one of us. And many have agreed, others have disagreed. What are your thoughts? You think the issue of xenophobia is gearing its head again against this girl who obviously made all the physical requirements to become Miss South Africa? You can join the conversation 081 0764 1679 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So when we heard this story, we're all excited, happy for her, because obviously she's a Nigerian through and through. Chidimma Adetshina. Initially I was like, how is that possible? But obviously you understand that she's a mix of different cultures. But what are your thoughts when you heard this story? And because we've had a history of xenophobia in South Africa, where our brothers and sisters who live there have been threatened. Some have been killed just for being Nigerian. What are your thoughts when you read this story? Who would like to go first, Maria?
Yes. So, of course, when I heard it, I thought it was, I thought it was going to be fantastic news all around Africa. Like, oh, this is one of us. We're happy to see that, we're being represented. And being that South Africa is like rainbow nation, and in my understanding is that, they're all welcome. You're from there, you have naturalized, you used to be a colonialist or whatever it is, white, black, whatever color you are, colored as they call them, you're all, South African. And so with Chidimma, it came across as if the reason why she was being attacked was because of the Nigerian part of her blood, As we know, as you mentioned earlier, Mariah, there's always been that rivalry between South Africa and Nigerians, and as far as even xenophobic attacks. But a part of me is also thinking, if they didn't think she was South African, why did they allow her apply for this pageantry? Why did they allow her go through the process? I'm sure they must have asked her questions and everything. So yes, by blood, I guess she's not South African, but her mom, who's Mozambican, is a naturalized South African. I've heard other stories that they said the father is an illegal immigrant, that he wasn't meant to have lived there for as long as he's lived there. But this girl, that's the only life that she knows. So part of me was like, they're just hating. But now I sit down here in Nigeria and I'm wondering if a South African girl were to win Miss Nigeria, how would we respond? Will we be more accommodating? And to be fair, I think we'll be more accommodating, especially if we feel that her roots have always been here. In fact, we'll carry her on the head more than anyone. That's our style, I believe. So, it's interesting because the conversation is really, what people now start saying is, why is it that Black Africans, we seem to hate on each other more? It is easier for South Africans to accept someone of, white descent, who you would see clearly white, but she's South African. They praise Charlize Theron everywhere across the world, Elon Musk. All those people are South Africans. But for some reason, they are more South African than this Chidimma Adetshina, Nigerian, Mozambican, naturalized South Africa, I
was told by the producers that she hasn't won the pageant yet. She's actually a finalist.
Okay.
So hopefully she wins objectively if indeed they don't consider all these factors. But what are your thoughts when you heard about this?
It's just so that they will make sure she doesn't win that we're having this conversation, because she trended over the weekend. The way South Africans are wired. No apologies. They have their history. They have their history. We see them now. All of us saw the xenophobic attack and how they wired black on black hate. It's something that they are known for. And I think their government should be deliberate about working against it. This is one of such cases where if she were to emerge, it would be a South African statement to the world about their new stand as regards black on black hate. It's important that they start to put out that narrative, that people start to see them differently. South Africa is known for tourism. They're known for, when they promote the beauty of their nation, how they promote and say they're accommodating. But we know tourism, of course, is a revenue earner for them. And they don't just promote that side of them with, speaking with two sides of the mouth. Sometimes when you put a national event out, it's your PR to the world. Imagine a Chidimma, because they are having the conversation, so me too now. Imagine a Nigerian winning that event, that pageant, and how it will go around the world for the proper PR South Africa needs right now. And I hope that the thinkers of the nation will see it that way. Any other way is just going to be endorsing the history, which I know and all of us have read and seen about South Africa. This is the time for South Africa to be deliberate about what they do. The organizers of that pageant, the government of that nation, this is the time. And this girl, boy, she's a beautiful girl.
Yes.
She's a beautiful girl, and
she is.
She's gorgeous. Her mom is, naturalized South African. I was just saying this morning, myself, Amaka, and Ogalu were speaking and using certain words in English and interpreting it in a different dialect. And we had about 10 words that had common sounds, from my Esako roots to the Igbo to the Urobo roots of Ogali. And we called numbers, words, bags, names, and they were all similar. And I was like, if only these white people did not interrupt us, by now we would have evolved to a common language and word. And that language will be able to take ownership of it. But that interruption of it will be national. And that interruption cost us this, that we are now, everybody still defending, and from here, and from there, and from that, and from that. Trade, intermarriage, and all of that would have made us one. Eventually, would have, understood all the way to Ghana. Yeah, naturally. So we are one, whether we like it or not, as Africans. And because time has interrupted us, we must now deliberately push out that thing that will foster us. You see today, there's a page I follow online, because these days to read news is a difficult thing. You don't want to be reading bad things every time. So I follow a marriage wedding page, and I see how every time in the UK, Nigerians who have lived there and raised kids there, they intermarry tribes that if you had told my grandfather, they would have shouted Ebuye. They would never allow it to happen. But now you see Nigerians marry the Zambians, Zimbabweans. They marry, in fact, there was an Iraqi-Nigerian marriage. I was in Iraq, Nigeria. I shocked. And they brought in their cultures. And I love those two pages I follow, where they show those weddings and all of that.
And they brought in those cultures. It was really beautiful to see. So give it a few years. When those people born children, will those children be deciding whether they're Iraqis or, we would have evolved. And this is what...
Okay, so first of all, I want to applaud and congratulate her for making the finalists.
Yes,
She's such a beautiful and gorgeous lady. Congratulations, and I hope you win the cup. But then I don't think this is about South African and Nigerian or black on black hate, because this is not the first time that they are having this kind of issue. In 2001, a Portuguese Angolan girl won the Miss African crown. Yes, the contest, and then she went through the same backlash and everything. So what we should be looking at is the fact that they don't really accept people. But then it's not for you to accept other immigrants from other places. For the fact that people are born, right, in a particular country, automatically that makes you a South African. And then...
According to their constitution.
Yes, according to your constitution, and you have a South African passport. And then this Miss South African pageant organization, they have certain rules and regulations for you to qualify. And then if you're South African, you own a valid passport, you qualify. So it has nothing to do with what people think of that we're Nigerian or is black on black hate. Absolutely not. It's not about that. It's just about them wanting someone that is, their parents are South African, someone that is South African, rooted in South Africa to win that. But unfortunately, if the people, those type of people are not coming up to contest, and then you have representatives, people that are South African, right? Contesting. So have an open mind. This is 2024 for crying out loud.
One of the things this conversation brings to mind is how, I think what Mariam said earlier, how we Nigerians would have reacted if it was us. Within our, so we have a way of something Nigerian, we can defend it. We can fight amongst ourselves. But as long as it's something against the international world, oh my goodness, Nigerians will rally around that side. We don't care. As long as you're Nigerian, they will fight for you. But why are we so different though? We seem somewhat different from other African nations. Why do you think that?
I'm thinking maybe it's the years that we've had to be independent of the colonialists. I used to be almost naive when I'm like, this colonialism happened many years ago. We should get over it. And then I read Trevor Noah's book, and he was talking about things that happened in the 80s. I said 80s, when we were already our own organs. These people were still dealing with things. So, of course, I think that mentality, where they're fighting for their identity, strongly fighting for their identity, and that is why we would see things like that. We want to be South Africa. We don't want you to mistake us for any other thing. This country does not belong. But then, so that's on the one hand. But then there's the nationalistic picture or view that South African, I think Mandela helped create, which is everybody that is here, we're one people. Let's not keep fighting each other. So it looks like the South African people themselves are struggling with that view. Are they willing to be a rainbow nation indeed, where everyone is welcome and we are one people? Or would they just prefer to go back to their, who they are, like individually? But then, South Africa has like so many languages and so many ethnicities. I'm like, why would you people just try quickly and find one picture, one language or a few languages and a view of who you are and, move on from there. And finally, what I see is that for countries who have accepted that, people that come and live in their communities and are part of the communities, help to grow their communities, do better than those who are constantly fighting for, this is where I'm from, this is where you're from. They don't tend to do so well. Look at the names I mentioned, Elon Musk, Charlize Theron. See how Oyimbos have just carried them as if they've always been Oyimbos with them,
Exactly.
As long as you're doing something positively for your community, people should accept you and push you and make you more a part of that community. That's what's more important in my...
I don't agree that it's because of our we've been like this. Nigerians are accommodating people. You roll over to one community in Nigeria, you don't speak their language, and you find a place to sleep. Somebody would accommodate you and even protect you. I think what we are now is a fallout of even strange, because the stories back then is that you're safe anywhere you are in Nigeria. We had a very strong history where loving, accommodating people. If a mistakenly mixed Nigerian with South African blood appeared somewhere in the world, Nigerians will rally there.
Yes.
And do the needful to get you there. We just like, and if we did not have a Nigerian on the platform, we had just one African. It is these same Nigerians who have the money for data and phone. We are the ones running the social media, social media, in all this, whatever. We are the ones who buy data. Even the platforms know. And we will go there with all the love in us. We have it. Our energy is love. We are kind people. That's who we are. There's no other narrative. But Amaka, whether you like it or not, there's history
okay, I have
of xenophobia
from
in Africa, in South Africa, and it has a meaning. It's black on black hate. It's something South Africa cannot shy away from. You don't carry razor and wipe it. You deliberately change mindsets.
Yes. Let me read this.
Take care of it.
A message from someone who has said it anonymously. Lives in Nigeria and lives in South Africa. Said being a naturalized Nigerian in South Africa is just on paper. Forget what they say. Their action speaks louder than words, and they do this to other African migrants as well. So it's not only Nigerians. My daughter is an athlete and wasn't allowed to participate at the provincial level because she isn't an indigene. That clause is always there, but you never read about it until you're dealing with the system. Then she says animosity towards Nigeria, that one is just sheer envy. They can't accept how good Nigerians can get. So that's on one hand. So obviously for those who live there, they understand that there's a system that, you know.
Let me take this call. Honorable Sunday from Benin. Hello, sir. I can't hear. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Reduce the volume of your TV screen so I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning. Yes. Yes. Let's rally around. Let's all.
Hello, sir. Sorry, we couldn't hear you properly.
So Nigerians are happy people, right? And it seems like somehow we have a bit of time. I don't want to say too much time on our hands, whereby we're constantly looking for the next thing to jump on. That's a reality, okay? Yeah. And yes, we're constantly looking for what next to jump on, what next to support, what's in the trending thing, what
you know, right?
Yeah, so it's
economy is so hard. We are looking for where to find happiness.
Because when you look at other countries, people are busy doing 9 to 5, people are working. They don't jump on things as much as Nigerians we do. It has its positives in the sense that, you know, we push certain narratives and we support and we're there. But then sometimes it has its own negatives, right? And then Nigerians are not just hated in South Africa. Nigerians are basically hated everywhere because we do very well. We excel.
They're not hated, they're envied.
Yeah, they're envied. Okay, so we excel. That's just who we are as a people. But then, you know, like how, but we also need to try, I don't believe in putting yourself down to please people around you, right? But then, like Maria said sometime, you also have to be diplomatic in how you relate or be intentional about how you build relationships with people. Even if people are uncomfortable about certain things about you, that doesn't mean you should dim your light. But then you can manage it. So Nigerians now need to learn that this is an issue we're having across borders. How do we are loud people. How do we manage? We flaunt our wealth.
And how do they manage us? Anyway, let me take this call because we have to wrap up on this call. Good morning, Simi, I believe.
Good morning.
Oh, Simon, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I just want to contribute to your program. It's so unfortunate for Chidimma. Some countries, when you go, they have laws, but those laws are not really working. How can a South African law, which favors this thing like that, and then...
Okay, lost that. Let's take a few comments and then we wrap up on this.
We have Moses Lawa. He said, we expect love and respect for us from outsiders, but we denigrate and curse our nation openly. When we boldly call our country a zoo, whatever, what respect do we expect from other people that are normal products of those places?
Any other comments? Okay. I think we can pretty much wrap up on this. But I think in a nutshell, really, we are rooting for Chidimma. We're hoping that she wins. And it's important to highlight these things when they do happen because, as Nima has said, there is a history of xenophobia in South Africa. And when we realize that the community itself should be intentional about changing the the view or the perception other people have of South Africa concerning non-South Africans that live in their country. So it's important for us to just support Chidimma and wish her the best, that hopefully she's able to win the pageant, and we can also celebrate her all the way here. And
so that's the thing. Let her win the pageant and let South Africa celebrate her. When we now celebrate her, she has taken it home.
Even Mozambique too celebrate her.
Yeah,
the whole of Africa
that's what Africa was hoping.
Because the goal is that she would going to represent South Africa in the Miss Universe pageant.
And they were calling Chidimma, not Bonang.
But she's African. Now our turn,
you know. All right, that is all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Hopefully our guests will be here. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to us? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty.
My name
My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top your view pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost.
I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show say now my husband be this.
This na wetin you want.
After that day, the man
no go see am again. If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody. When you dey friend the husband, you not see sign say the guy smart you don't vex, don't use signs.
If they look for person, we go give them to you. Fact as it be.
Men no dey ever get fault. If baby not there for her,
na woman.
Na the woman.
talk no dey be person you make person no fit talk true inside. But for this country, we know say if we open curtain in the morning, wetin no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We no even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man. And that's some warrior.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger, today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Thanks for staying with us. So today, for this segment of the show, we're discussing one rant that a 30-plus woman was having on social media. And she was complaining that why do we always assume any 30-plus-year-old woman had single number one problem is getting married. Every time we see a single woman, what comes to our mind is, when are you getting married? Even this morning, I made the same error. And I was talking to, it wasn't an error. When I was talking to Amaka earlier, I see she was hanging. I was like, now this your guys. Are you able to because subconsciously in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, maybe you may be interested in having somebody. So it happens. We all just subconsciously just feel like everybody who's singing around is possibly looking to get hitched. And they're saying, it might not be our problem. How do we begin to normalize the conversation that there are people who are just not interested in pairing up? So our society is such that we have made it look as if once you see you, and I'll probably start with you because you're probably in this week, a lot of people always assume that the only thing you're thinking morning, night and evening is how to get hitched. How does that make you feel?
Okay, so for when we started the banter today, you people's problem is that people just want to have a TVC wedding.
Yes.
And you people are looking for the great candidate because you know I'm going to give you a show and a movie.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
So, but the reality is that most people are actually concerned about, like me, what I'm thinking of in my head is, I'm thinking of money. You know I love money so much and I'm working so hard. I have multiple jobs. For me, money, financial security is everything to me, right? Because when I have financial security, I feel like then other things can just come together. And even though I want to be a baby girl in marriage, you know, when I finally marry, I want to have my money, but I have to spend my man's money. That is a given. I'm a baby girl.
I would have been disappointed if you didn't say that.
Yes, so, you know, so, yeah. But I also want to be financially independent. If I want to do something, I want to take care of myself, my parents, whatever I want to do, I just know that I have my own. And then I want to also support my man and spoil him too and treat him nice and treat him good. Yeah. And then you also have the second prevalent thing for me too, that is the fear, which is health, right? So most people don't think about that. If you have people that have health issues or you have a health issue, you know that if you have a health issue, that it eats up money.
Yeah.
A lot of money is involved in this thing. So you find out that if you're concerned about that, even though you might not have a health issue, but what's the possibility of having a health issue when you're in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s? You're not going to be thinking about relying on another person to take care of your business or your problem. You want to be able to have your own or make plans for your own. So if it doesn't come up, we thank God because we pray against that. But then if it comes up, then fine, you're good.
This brings me to the angle of getting married. But let me come to you. Let me hear your own thoughts first. Or young people, do you think that society needs to begin to just allow people and not constantly always ask them about their marital status?
Yeah, definitely it can be quite rude. And, you know, I would also like to refer to the banter today. It was really for the fun of it, you know. We love Amaka, and it was not really about her being single, but just the fact that we'll have a fun, you know, event, which would be nice, something we've not done here. So, but, you know, apart from that, I'm not one to hound people about their marital status. You know, for me, I would rather find out if you're happy. Are you happy? How are you doing today? Is everything okay? I feel that Nigerians should, you know, put our energy towards that, finding out if people are doing well. However, whatever their status, marital status is, you know, you have especially with people who are not even in marriages, I think we should find out, because for a lot of times, they're doing a lot of these things by themselves. You know, you're getting up, doing this, making sure your house is running well, making sure your business is running well, making you're driving back and forth. With someone who has a marriage or is in a partnership or someone, there's always someone that's like a backup plan or someone you can lean on. But imagine someone who, you know, essentially sort of have to do it alone most of the time. Just my husband hasn't been feeling well. Unfortunately, I've given him my cold as well, and he's dealing with it, you know, quite not so easily. And his children, that's my children. I saw them yesterday, making breakfast and everything, and they were talking amongst themselves without me involved. Like, did you see daddy? Did you see how he was walking? I can't believe my own daddy walking like that. He's not feeling fine. So I'm like, what's happening? This one is making soup, this one is making tea, because they have never seen their daddy. So that is something, you know, that comes with being a marriage, and which is beautiful, you know, and somehow we are taking care of each other. So for me, that someone is single and maybe is not feeling well, for me, I would like to know if the person needs help. How can I be there for you? How can I be support for you? So her problem is not, or his problem is not, I'm married. It's like, to show friendship to this person, please stop hounding me with marriage. Show up for me in different ways as well. So,
You know, what are your thoughts about this? That we need to change.
I need to represent my aunties. I need to represent my aunties. So it's from a place of love when you see a young girl, because when you have walked the journey, it's the same. I always say it is the same journey. Whether you're single, whether you're married, as a person, you're dealing with something at one point in time. It has to be something you're dealing with. Then let's not add it when you get a particular age, because, you know, our psyche and everything, there's that age of loneliness where you think, oh, I would have really loved a companion now. So when they come at you, because I saw my aunties come at me, I felt it was distracting. Because if they were not coming at me, probably I would not have married the age I married. I probably would have continued the trajectory I was pursuing to get somewhere before I married. But they would come at you, and it's from a place of love and concern that there's a time. That's what the Yoruba says. When the child is of age, you start to tell the child, why not now? Why not this? It's not necessarily hate or hounding. It's a reminder, and usually from a place of love. There are those who come at it with a mouth of hate and the way they drop it. And all of the time, when people tell you things, it's not because they just want to hurt you or hate you. They might also be concerned. Imagine my friend's mom who had spent her years buying gele and asking her daughter, oh yeah, now, let them buy my own gele. And you think, oh, mommy is hounding me. She's pressuring me, because now the way the Gen Zs interpret everything is almost like our ancestors, they hated us. The way they come at us, our parents now, when they come at us, they hate us, they hound us, they pressure us. We put all sorts of terms, and we don't know that they're dealing with their own. So what do you think your mom, who's seeing you, how do you think she's feeling? You know, when you birth the child, you have a dream for your child, whether or not you want to appreciate it. You have a dream of when the child will marry. You have a dream of when the child will have kids, when you carry them. So if your child is not there yet and you're not hounding, does it mean you're not dealing with your own? I don't like I feel that it's a selfish...
from different
perspectives. Yeah, from different perspectives. I think it's a selfish point of view to see it only from your perspective and say, why is my mom on my case, you know? No, don't do it because your mom is on your case, but try to understand why your mom is on your case. You know,
I get that, but I think what I understand from what we're discussing is that there's a culture of hounding. You know what we're saying? Every opportunity, the moment you wake up and open your eyes, there's someone at every point that's trying to let you know because you're not married.
I saw my cousin the other day who was young, you know, and I forced myself, like I deliberately made sure I didn't ask about that.
Yeah.
Because it was at the tip of my lips. But I refused to focus on a career.
Thank you.
What are you doing for the summer? What are you guys doing? When are we going to have lunch? I was very careful. Because it is almost our culture where we are constantly asking. So it is a conscious effort for us to remind ourselves to be careful.
You remind yourself.
When you communicate, But what the person is receiving
no,
is pounding.
You might not even say it.
Yes.
But it doesn't stop you from thinking it. Just this morning, I was talking about my cousin who was an A student. She had best overall graduating from her polytechnic, from her WAEC to the JAM. I was like, we're always proud of her. And then I remembered that she's widowed. Every time I remember her, I go into a silent prayer. I'm worried. If I see my cousin, I would really love her to be flying, because the dream was that this guy is a high flyer. She's going to do it all, you know. But she's widowed, and every time I remember her, it's not from a place of, oh, let me just leave her. There's a worry, and it must be that way. How we should, we should focus instead of assuming that everybody that asks you want to hurt you.
Okay. Let me take this call. Engineer Yemi from Surulere.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to contribute to this program.
Go ahead, please.
Sorry. I'm a widower. Yeah. I lost my wife about 7 years ago, so I have not been married. I did not marry. I did not marry anybody because of my kids. It took me 18 years to have my kids after marriage. So, at the end of the day, I decided not to get married so that I'll be able to take care of my daughters. They are twins, 2 girls. Now, when you look at the situation of this single, I think all one needs support from each other. I do have friends around that support once in a while, financially, physically, and morally. You see, to be honest, I would not judge anybody. Circumstances could make you get single. There are several circumstances. And I believe that circumstances is not your choice sometimes. Because people are single and they want to marry, but the marriage is not there. A lot of Nigerians marry for one reason, not even Nigeria. A lot of us marry for one reason. I had the best marriage in my life before my wife died. She died of cancer. You see, I used to tell a lot of single people that if you are single and there's challenges towards this, what I was expected you to do is to make sure you make friends with people. So in case you need help, you will be able to help and be nice to you. I have seen several single ladies. I help them when I see them because I'm single now and I do what it is to do.
Thank you, Mr. Engineer Yemi. We didn't hear a lot of everything said, but I think we have an idea of what you talked about. He's a widow and
he had a beautiful marriage. He had, was widow.
Yeah, so for me, first of all, it's important that, Nima, that you understand something, that we're all living different paths. Destiny, everybody's destiny purpose is different and timeline is different. Just like you say, when people are making money, people can be married and then look for a child for 20, 25 years or never even have a child, right? Yes. So everybody's timeline is different. First of all, we need to understand that because hounding people into marriage has made bad marriages, has made so many people unhappy. And we also need to understand and help the young ones understand that going into marriage, you should have a purpose. Very important. It's not just about the love and butterflies that always fade away. They have to be intentional about recreating. There must be a purpose. People go into marriage for different reasons. And then I also believe that in Nigeria, from statistics that I've seen, majority of the people going to marriage out of poverty or trying to look for who wants to take care of them, a roof over their head or whatever, right? So people should be allowed to find love. I believe so much in love, and I'm not going to get married till I am deeply and madly in love, and the person worships the ground I walk on. That has always been
the other way around.
Yeah, both ways. Treat me well, treat me like a queen, I treat like a king.
One thing I'd like to jump in here, because what Mariam has said is that what Mariam described earlier, some people enter marriage and they don't have it.
Yeah.
Because you enter marriage doesn't mean that you get that help of the husband, the children, the family. Yeah. Some of us are entering marriages and they're like, there's no help. So sometimes people always assume that once you enter, once you cross that line like this,
it's not guaranteed though.
It's not guaranteed.
Exactly.
So sometimes you're even better off being single and doing yourself. Now it doesn't negate, because I like to go back to what Nima said, which is really important, is that if you are in that state and somebody asks you, it's not a hound. You also see from that person's perspective, it's probably coming from a place of love. Because it's likely your loved one, your mom, your aunt, who's asking you, how far? It's not because they want to hound you. Now, sometimes, however, the recipient of that how far gets it a lot. And now to that person, they're interpreting it as hounding because you guys should keep asking me the same question every single day I see you at a party. Please stop asking me that question. So we must find a middle ground. So where you understand the path from love and you also understand the fact that they're also just checking up on you.
So in fact, I know 2 stories on either side of the spectrum. I know someone who actually accused her mom of never asking her the question. She said she would hear from auntie, stepmother, how are you? How is this marriage thing? Have you found somebody? And she said she never heard that from her mom. Her mom would ask her about everything in the world except the marriage. And she felt like her mom did not care enough. So, with this thing, you can never know, And then I know of people who, in fact, when they describe to you what they mean by hounding. So, you come back from a trip, you're excited. Oh, I just went to Brazil. Welcome back. So,
do you meet somebody?
This money and this traveling you are doing, shouldn't you have? My friend is getting married. Hey, nice Ashebi. But, so every time they're excited or want to do something, they are reminded. So maybe it's in the how that we do it. Why do you wait for the time when the person is excited about something or about... In fact, there's one that I heard, that one was just off me. People were doing like exercises. One person looks, see how they jump up and down, she no go marry. Do you understand? You hear this thing over and over. So that's the culture we're talking about. The Nigerian culture where it is that we must tell you, shut up. No wonder you're talking like that. Are you married? So then you wake up every morning, you face that, and then you go to your house. That is what I feel.
So I agree. It's in the how. And we have your age mates who do that as well. So it's not even in the... But in my time, the way my aunties would do it is, I just had this against men mentality. I didn't talk about a man. I didn't feel the need. And so they kept reminding me, Nima, you don't see men. Men don't see you. I have one friend, though. He likes you, So that's the way it was done. It was done in love. But I have had a wait. And during my childless period, it was a very short period. And I would hear my mom all the time show concern. And just as Miriam just mentioned now, I don't know how I would feel if she never asked me. But there are those who would make a phone call and the way they asked, it's in the house, certainly. Did you miss your period? I wonder why a woman, this is not my husband, is asking me, have you missed your period in a month? Am I the conversation in your house? And so it's wrong. That's it's wrong.
Pause you for a second. Amazing Grace, I've been holding for a while. I'll come back to you, Nima. Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I hear you.
Good morning. Go ahead, Amazing Grace. Stop listening to the TV. Listen to the phone call.
So that's it's certainly in the house. There's several issues a young girl might be dealing with per time, and that most people don't even discuss. Let's even leave that she's in a career-focused lifestyle. She's pursuing her career. Some are dealing with plenty issues. I have a young girl now. She's 30 on the dot, and she's a what they call not sickle cell but SC, and this just gets her into a depressed mode totally. By now, her parents are not enjoying that her depression, lock yourself up in the room, be on your phone, mind your business kind of mentality anymore. She's become the conversation. Gufran's mommy, are you not even asking of your star? Help us to check on her once in a while now. They are now concerned. And that's why I started the conversation, because she comes out the time as if they want her to socialize, but she wants to stay indoors. She wants to lock up. When she has her pains, she doesn't want to see anybody. She's had those pains. She doesn't want to mix. She doesn't want to see anybody. Then a few times she's dated, it turns out that the person is AS instead of the... So she doesn't even just want to be in that space anymore. The parents are saying, it's not the time to give up. We would not want you to be lonely after this age. So they're concerned genuinely from that space, which is why I'm holding that...
I have a call from Niger State. Thank God. Thanks for calling.
I just want to keep in
Sorry?
from Niger State.
Yes.
Thank God for chair from Niger State.
Your name is Thank God. Wow.
Yes,
Go ahead, please.
From Niger State. I want to just concerning the topic this morning. You know, even as male child for that matter, although I was born into the family of 4, I'm the last born, and even at that very age of 30, even as a man, you know, even in the field hustling like that, parents will always want to even put more pressure. Me as the male child, the last born of father, the only son, my mom will always want to see her grandson. That is as a male child for that matter. Then she keeps on pressurizing me by the grace of God. Now, I'm 41. But at that stage, 30, she was just on my neck. After school, what I want to see is get married first. What you and your wife will never be the problem. Can you imagine our mentality then? But I want to bring her to a land like that. What if you are no more? Should I be depending on you? Instead of this, it's okay. Let me find something doing, and the next thing you can get married earlier. But she keep on took the essence. She will take my picture to her friend's daughter and say, "Do you like this, my son?" It is also feel it's working now. So just like that, then I know what happened to my immediate sister, the one I follow. At 32, you will not believe that my mom will tell her, if you don't get married, just make sure you put your bills by yourself, or you look for other boyfriend. Bring anybody that you know to love, so that we will know how to tell him how to get married. Then you imagine what parents do, how they pressurize children to get married at that age. So what I'm trying to bring in now is, most times parents put more pressure. Then in the other side of it again, peer group, my friends are getting.
Thank you very much. So we must also acknowledge that there are some parents that put that kind of pressure, undue pressure on young people, and force them to go and marry wrongly. And force them to, because I know so many stories of people who get into that institution not because they truly love,
because they told them
because of society. Probably reminding you, oh, you are 25. Oh, you are 28. Oh, you are 35. Oh, you are 40. They are constantly reminding. I think anybody that comes. I remember somebody who, she felt that pressure, but she resisted it. And though she's not married today, she's still proud that that person, there was no way I would have gotten married.
I have heard stories like that.
There's no way I would have me and that person, even though today she would have loved to find somebody else, but she would rather wait.
Yes.
Because she said, I would not listen, because I remember the mothers and the families calling meetings over her head. And this person now, the person was totally not her type. They had the same level of conversation. She just knew she couldn't get it, but they all wanted, because he had some money with him. He had some.
Or just the fact that he asked.
He asked. God bless you. The family were putting her under pressure until today. She's like, right, I'm really happy that I didn't go with that guy. So we also have to build women to know who they are. Be confident in who they are. Don't let society pressure you into doing what you need to do.
And you know, one thing I also like with single girls that I see now. When we were much younger, we used to see a lot of single people that went around looking sad and morose because they were not married. They were just sad. In fact, you could point them out. That one, the way she's carrying herself, because she's not married. But now, they are chasing their dreams, they're doing. So for me, while waiting, or while, for that to happen, you are living your life. For me, the biggest disservice you can do to yourself as an unmarried person is to be waiting in sadness and in loneliness and, and not living your life because you are not married. Please, chase your dreams, do the travels, do your work, pursue your career, do the education, anything that you need to do. The thing is, you have the time to do a lot of things right now. When that marriage comes, you would also have the time to now give it, because you've done so much of it, when you're single. So for me, that would be my message to a lot of the single people that I see right now. I know someone who says to me, who's single, and says to me, it's not even the fact that I'm not married that's annoying me. It's that I'm not making the money I should be making. Let me have this money. Let me be doing this work. And I feel that some single people need that sort of support. So it's not when they talk to you, they're not asking you to please point out the right man that will ask me to marry. Please help me in my career. Please help me in my business. So that while I'm single, I can take care of myself and be,
Let me take this call from Rotimi. Good morning, Rotimi, you're live. Hello, Rotimi, you're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go
Good
ahead,
morning.
please.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to contribute, like, especially ladies now don't really want to be liabilities anymore. And you guys are really trying, and your program is really helping people to, like, be an eye-opener for people to say, I can actually be something other than just getting married and not having anything and relying 100% on the man. So, aside from pressure from parents, ladies especially now want to be like, I want to have something doing. I used to have a girlfriend then. I was like, I said, no, I have SSC. Let me at least have HND. I was surprised. I was like, wow, I'll respect your dreams. Go ahead and I'm glad today now she's in school. She's school. At least her mentality has changed. The type of people she knows now have changed. So let people allow people to pursue their dreams. Let them go to places they want to go to. Let them travel to places they want to go. Don't be surprised. My sister got married. She went to school and everything. And the husband was like, no, you are not working. That was not the agreement. Now he's dead. Thank God my sister was working before he died. What would have happened to her if she had remained at home? And if she had not gone to school because of probably, And
thank you so much.
Let's just encourage people.
Thank you.
So sometimes people are like me. Someone can say I have OCD because I'm like always detailed about what I want for my life, my goals. I have a 5-year plan. I've always been like that. And if I meet a man too, I'm like that. Like I want to know where we're headed, right? And I can remember I was always that person that knew that I wasn't going to get married early. I always knew that because I was lucky to have always been in great long-term relationships that always want to not get to that marriage point, and I would say, I'm not ready. I want to do this, that, right? Mm-hmm. So my mom used to be so furious in the sense that, why don't you want to say, choose somebody? It's not like your case is that you're not having somebody, you're not having proposals or options. Choose. But then I always say, but I'm not going to do something if I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And then when I was ready, my parents weren't happy with my choice. Okay. And then I said, okay, then let me focus on other goals that I have. And I don't want to do this right now, right? So it's all about, it's important for people and for young women, because of the society we're also coming, and in terms of also bringing something to the table in marriage, to be able to have focused goals. Some people that I met, I had our friends within secondary school, university, they wanted to get married. When you ask them, what's the next step?
I'm telling you.
They wanted to get married.
Yeah.
That's what was going to make them happy. Why other person wanted to pursue their career? So who are you as a person?
Now, so I'd like to link us to this conversation about, do we marry for love or marry for marriage? Or marry for money? Because all this, I want to get married because many women will tell you that, listen, all this, I've finished, I've not married the marriage. I'm still not happy and there's no money. I'm frustrated. I wish I was by myself. I remember I shared a story of a woman who got a job at NNPC. She had to go to a different state. But then her husband refused for her to relocate. He insisted they stay in the state that they were in. She lost that job, and today she's frustrated. She has 3 children, frustrated because she now had to start finding something to do. Maybe he got her a store. And she was frustrated because she was smart enough to have a career. She got a job. She said, Mariah, I got this job. I still have my letter. This man refused for me to resume. All because of marriage. I killed my own dream to start. So there are people like that they got the marriage, but they're not happy. So that conversation is such that we must be real when we talk to women. Is that having that marriage doesn't guarantee happiness. Exactly. And being single either doesn't guarantee success or happiness either. Let me take this call from Abim Balak from the UK. You're live.
Hello, Mariah.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
The phone is a bit delayed, so go ahead. The line is delayed. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
It's muffled. We can't hear you.
Yes.
It's not terrible.
Network in the UK is not working properly. Sorry.
Their network is terrible.
Network is so bad. UK network is not working.
I have 2 friends. 2 friends. One is quite close to me. The other is just a distant friend. The one is 49.
Oh, she's back. Our UK guest is back.
I hope your network is working.
Are you there? Oh, we lost her again. Go ahead.
One is 49, one is 45. And I would sit with them sometimes and honest emotions comes out. you know, they are successful. One is a teacher. The 49-year-old is a teacher. She teaches in the best school. She consults for schools. She's doing so well and she mixes with kids. She's a natural with kids because if somebody can handle my son, she's a natural with kids. But then she's not married. She's never even had a good relationship. And the family just thought, let's never interfere. And, you know, I respected her space. And when we were sharing stories one time, and she was telling me, I said, it's not possible from my family that you'll be left alone to handle this on your own. You know, she had issues relationship-wise, and she was left alone. So just, you know, whether she sorted it out, whether she didn't sort it out. Yeah. And she's not happy at 49, looking at her 50s. She's very well grade. You know, she's not happy looking at her and the way she was left alone. She says, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of how, if I get to my 50s, in my 60s, that I might just be lonely. And when she said that to me, that was when I started talking to the 30-year-old girl about wherever you choose in life, something must happen. Something must give. Those in marriage are dealing with something. Those outside marriage are dealing with something. So this marriage thing is not for me. It's fine. If it's not working for you now, do you hate it or do you still want it? Because if that my 49-year-old had someone, you know, be true to yourself. What exactly do you want? And you see, when the society, let's give them the label, these are people that we call the hounders, start to hound you. Sometimes they are thinking of time, space. How do you get it all? How do you get it all? Thank God for advancing medicine now. Do you still get it all? Do you get children? Do you get your own? When your mother is saying, I want my grandchildren, is she wrong in wanting her own grandchildren? When you have a child, your plan is to have your lineage continue. Some people try, they don't get it. Not because they didn't try. You know, so we don't want to have the conversation because we don't want to pressure somebody, even if they are trying. But does it mean we shouldn't have the conversation at all? No. Because once I was, myself and another married friend were gisting with our friend, the other one she's the MD CEO of her business. And we're just gisting with her. And we're just talking loosely about how the kids are in our head. They're disturbing, they're running everywhere. She said, can you people just be sensitive? I would really want your kids.
I want your life.
And I shut up immediately. Ever since then, I've always been very careful. We're still friends because I did not give up my single friends because I got married. We've remained best friends and we still chit and chat together and do a lot of things that we used to do. But I never thought, because she shows up for their birthdays, she buys their cakes, and she never talks about it.
There are options now.
Here. Yeah.
The options
she never talks about it. But we know that we are from a place where it's not
sperm now. Yes, get pregnant, and it is.
Until we are not Christians.
You must. Yes, you must be financially secured. Yes,
we are not even that. Our religion
doesn't allow it. Okay, so
I hear.
I'll come to you. Let me take Esther, then I'll come to you. Esther from Mushi, you're live. Oh,
sorry, Esther.
Your spirit
I hear most of the narrative I hear, especially coming from Nima, is single and unhappy, single wishing or whatever. You need to understand that, yeah. And you need to understand that everybody's life is different. People are balling, people are happy, people are in the marriage that want to be single. I have people, my friends that are married that wish that they are single. And I always tell them something, don't get it twisted. I want to be married, I love, right? But just that I've not found the person I connect with or the person I feel I want to entrust my emotional security to. Do you understand? So that there's a difference, right? And then there are no guarantees in life. People marry, their spouses die, and they are lonely in old age. People marry, have children, their kids die. Anything can happen. There are no guarantees in life. You should not base your happiness on any human being. You cannot give what you don't have. You should learn to be happy by yourself. You should have activities. Do things that make you happy. Have a purpose in life. Live a purposeful life that has nothing to do with a husband, wife, children. Who are you as an individual? What purpose have you come to live on this earth? Everything is, her family unit is sweet, is marvelous. I hope one day I find that person that I connect with and I want to spend the rest of my life with. But then if that doesn't happen, I am a happy girl, I'm balling, I'm living my life, I have set goals, ambition. So you need to understand that as in people that are single are not miserable or that they are not wishing for other people's lives.
I can
and
tell
that
you,
we need to also be happy and find happiness within ourselves.
Just even because of my practice, I see women who are married who would wish for their single life more than, at least I would say 20% because of my practice. So I'm not going to come here and blame and pretend that marriage solves all problems. That's not the narrative. And I'm not talking about single women not being happy or the impossibility of being happy. I'm only trying to push an argument here. Because, you know, when we push it all the time, we seem to forget, or maybe we'll force some women who are not to want to carry a face like, oh, I just must show that I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's okay. If that's your dream and you didn't achieve it and you'd like different, to want to have it. Some, like I said, these two friends of mine are doing very well. If somebody teaches and consults for schools, a particular I don't want to mention so it doesn't show. She's doing well career-wise, but this is also a dream she has and it's valid.
What I hear is there are two types of single people.
Yeah.
There are those who are single and have made the choice to be single because there are things that they are chasing or even don't want to get married. There are some who are single because they haven't found the person that they want to be with. They would love to be married. They would love to just have that marital life, but they are unable to get it for many reasons. And so those particular group of people may be unhappy, may see a married person and say, oh, I wish this was me. And so, you know, for that sort of person, what kind of message would you give to her? So another thing also,
Let me pause for a second because I know your audio is out. Let me take this caller from Stanley. Thanks for Stanley. Are you there?
I'm sorry. Good morning.
Good morning, Stanley.
My
Go
name
ahead.
is Stanley. I'm calling from Enugu.
Yes, go ahead. You're live.
Okay, I like the fair lady's comment. What she just analyzed about marriage is real. I think people should understand that there is problem in everything you do in life. Okay, we were born 5 boys, but today we are only 2 remaining, and our mother is still alive. So sometimes it's like that. You can go into marriage and discover that you can remain barren for the rest of your life. So a lot of things happen. So people should understand that being single is not a crime. You can achieve the best being single, you can achieve the best being married. It all depends on the mentality. And most times people surrounding you are the problem. You can have this circle of friends who believes that if you are a lady or a guy and you are not married and you are above 30, they will start making a mockery of you. So I believe that your program is on point. Keep it up, and the education will go a very long way. Thank you.
Let me let Miriam finish up with that.
Yes, so I was saying, I don't know how much of it was heard earlier where I say that there are groups of people, single people. There are those who understand why they are single, have made the choices to be single for that time or, you know, forever. And that there are some who have found themselves in that position just because whatever it is, it hasn't worked out for them. They would love to be married. They would love to, you know, have that married life. And they would see their married friends and wish they were married. So for those group of people who are now living the unhappiness because they have not achieved their dream. So for them, that is their dream, you know. Let's say, don't be sad about it. Don't think that's the end of the world. It may still happen for you. And if it doesn't, there's still happiness that can be found while you're being single. Now, you know, there's something also I said we didn't mention, which is those who say they don't get the hounding. I know of someone, in fact 2 or maybe more, who they did not get that hounding from their family or even the concern, you know, that some of us say, oh, you should, why are you not married? And it's because the family will tell you that, because me, looking at this, my daughter, looking at this, my son, even me, I'm afraid for the person that may come. So I cannot be hounding this person to get married when I'm afraid the way you behave as a person, you know, come and put you in someone's. So I'm trying to say that sometimes, can we look inwards in our own behavior and see if there's something that we are doing that's stopping us from getting married, if that's our dream. You know, it just doesn't happen. People, as you're intentional about your career and all your other dreams, you have to be intentional also about being in a marriage. There's an argument that happens, this compromise issue. For many people who are fiercely single and pursuing their career, there's some compromises that when married people talk about, they can't get it. They will never understand it. But then it takes that sort of mindset to be in a marriage because you understand it's not going to be only about you. Yeah. It has to be with somebody else. So sometimes you may not be in a marriage because of your mindset, you know, and you may not have realized that. So those are the sort of things also you should look at. if you want to get married, apart from just being old enough and have money to also bring to the table, how about the way I think about marriage and the way I think about
Let me take Abimbola. She's back from the UK. Abimbola, are you there?
Yes, where are you?
Yes,
good
I can
morning.
hear you clearly now. Go ahead, please.
Okay, good morning. I'm first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this is about teaching my career. I'm interested in the topic today. Yes. I really don't know the name of the other girl, the other lady.
Amaka.
Bob Wade. Yeah. I think I'm in support of what she has said, you know. Even though I'm married, but marriage is not linked to pain. You really have to get right. You know what you want. And exactly, it's a personal race. Morayo, you did talk about, you know, the essence of it going into it. I mean, so in fact, everything you said, even the other thing is something. Sorry, as you read. Yeah, I think everything you said about marriage, there's also fair pressure because Nigerians, there's expectation when you get to certain stage or phase in your life, which I think is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be something that comes out from, you know, you individually, that I am prepared to go this house. Nobody is supposed to do that journey for you because you go to each other.
Thank you very much, Abimbola. It's still not a bit muffled. But let me use my own self as an example. I remember that when I was single, my mother never talked to me about it. We never had a conversation, except for when I bring somebody. There was the time I brought Mr. Luke to her when Mr. Luke wanted to marry me, and she had an interview. Aside from that conversation, or when I was dating somebody, and when I'm coming to her to ask questions. But me being single, working, she never for once asked me that how far. But her sister, her older sister, always did, which is where Nima is going. That listen, those who are asking you, they are in your family, because whenever them her sister says me, what's going on? Are you not dating anybody? When are you going to bring somebody? I used to be afraid of going to her house, but I don't want to go to this woman's house. Anytime I see her, that's the first question to ask me. Now, it was a problem, but I knew it was from a place of love. But there are those, so I never saw it as hounding. But I just felt that this woman will be asking me about this, I don't want to engage her, so I just choose not to go there.
So maybe it also happened because imagine if it was from everywhere.
So there are cultures where mothers are supposed to be in the conversation of eligibility of their kids at a particular age. We are from the southwest and south where these cultures might not be popular, but we still see those who do it. Where mothers, every time once the child is of age, that's what they sit and talk about, because they also are looking at where they're going. They want to pass down traditions, cultures, and family values on time. You know, sometimes you have missed it with your child. You're looking at your grandchild. Make this grandchild quick grow small. Make I tell him. And so I'm just arguing. I would never sit with my single friends and remind them of their singlehood. I believe that they're happy, and I support whatever other things they're doing. That's Nima. But that does not mean that I don't see other family members who do it out of place of concern. You have your aged parents. As a young person, sometimes you marry for that value alone, for that family tradition alone. And that's a valid place to marry, because people always have
is that enough?
It might not be enough. And one rule that I grew up with is the exit door. The divorce rule applies very freely.
In Islam.
Yeah, in Islam, very freely. Yeah. So it's something we try. If it doesn't work, you walk out again and retry. Which is why I said, when I talked about my cousin here, my cousin has married, she's widowed, and I worry that she might be lonely. And for her, she's content with her daughter. She's fine. She's high flying, and we're still wondering.
I love that.
What about the other side?
Because there's a religious angle. We as Christians, once you go in,
you're not supposed to come out.
No, there's no
do us part.
But for Muslims, if you walk in and you feel it's not working, you can walk out. So it's the same way I can call them.
So maybe it's more freeing for you because you know that there's an exit plan.
We don't have an exit plan, unfortunately.
Okay, so it's like trying out a business, trying out a dress, trying out something. As a person, as a whole human, okay, I've tried it, I've done it, I don't think there's anything in it for me. And you really never tried, and you're just, there's always that.
Let me take this Bisola from Ikeja. And I come to you. Bisola, you're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Very well. Go ahead, please.
What Nima said, I want to believe she's saying it from a good place. However,
she's going to put, I think, however, indirectly, she's still putting pressure on people. I do not support putting pressure on people at all. So I was married because I felt like, okay, it was the right thing to do, you know, family, there was a lot of pressure, oh, get married, get married. So I did get married. Now, before I got married, I thought certain things that I wasn't really comfortable with, but I thought like, okay, because I dated the guy and I was seeing certain things that I was not happy with the guy's family. Now, the right thing would have been for me to just say, you know what, I don't think I want to do this, let me just go away. But because I felt like people would say, I mean, especially my mother would say, oh, you can't leave this person, blah, blah, blah. People will laugh at you. People say, I went ahead with a marriage. And I saw hell with this person. Now, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not saying he's bad 100%. I think he was a good guy, but his family was, especially his mom, you know, which I saw before I got married, but I still felt like, okay, let me just, you know, manage. Now, it was because I saw it because I felt like the guy was married before and divorced. That was obviously a red flag because I was trying to find out what happened to your first marriage, what happened. But he was saying, you know, culture difference because he was married to a white woman. So I felt like, okay, this sort of makes sense. It's just a little bit. But in the real sense, when I got close to his family, I realized that the mother was actually the problem, you know, and the siblings who had this entitlement, mentality. You know, they wanted everything from the guy. Obviously, the woman couldn't take it. And
so let me ask you a question. Where do we draw the line between love and hounding? Where I am a mother and just because I love you, I'm asking? Or where because I love you, I'm hounding you? Where is that line drawn? At what point would you say it's hounding? At what point would you say it's love or it's concern?
Oh, very good question. So you can, as a mother, you can talk to your child. First of all, get close to your child. Know what your child's problem is. You know, so you can't tell me to marry when you say that I'm miserable. I'm not deep down. I'm not happy with this person. But you're selfish because you just want me to be married. That's selfish because you want to have this. I mean, you want people to look at you like, oh, our children are married or our daughter is married. Yeah. So that really is hounding. Yeah. So first of all, I think your priority should be, are you happy? Because, I mean, that's what I would tell my children. Yeah. I want my children to be happy first. If you're not happy, I'm not going to say get married by force when you're not happy.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bisola.
I mean, fast forward to...
Thank you very much, Bisola. I think she's
someone that is not happy. Yes. You now carry someone that is unhappy and go put that as a body to another human being. I don't think that's
what she's saying. Bisola said we have to be happy. We should be asking. So to define that,
so it's also on the side
of love.
Yes. So it's also another thing where culturally we feel, oh, you're not happy. Get a man, you'll be happy, you know.
Get a wife.
Yes, get a wife, you'll be happy. So we just feel that marriage will solve everything. But as you mentioned earlier, it's not guaranteed, even in marriage. What we have seen so far from, looking around is that usually a happy person and another happy person make for a happy home. Mm-hmm. But to put an unhappy person who has not yet figured themselves out would be almost like a burden. But there's something that I remember about this hounding and love. Imagine a young girl who maybe doesn't like to dress up, doesn't like to do her makeup, does not like to do her hair, and will not go for parties. And the mother is saying, dress up, go for a party, go out, so that you can meet someone. Is that hounding or love, guys?
It depends on who's the recipient. It depends on who you are, how you receive it.
And the person is like, no, me, I'm going to stay at home. My man is going to meet me wherever I am. I'm going to sit down.
Remember, some people, the man has met them where they were.
Yeah, but...
And some people have gone out and some people also went that they did not see. Life is like this.
You know, the truth is, there's nothing guaranteed in life.
Exactly.
Nothing. Absolutely. That you have kids. We had, a sad story of a mother who lost almost all her kids recently. There's nothing guaranteed in life. But one thing I would not do is say, because nothing is guaranteed, nothing should be tried. It's possible that you ball for the rest of your life as a single person, and that's how you live your life till you pass. It's also possible that you have it all, and in your quiet moments, you sit down and you don't feel fulfilled because one thing is missing.
Yeah.
It's possible, and that happens to some people. So I've seen the comments on YouTube. People think I'm calling out single people. That's a lie. I have friends from childhood who have chosen to live that way and were best friends. And they are parents to my kids. In fact, my kids feel more comfortable when they stay over with them as their aunts. And it's fine because I've chosen to respect it. But I'm sitting here today not to come and sound politically correct. Because some single people will just want to say, hounding is what they get. The truth is, people go through life. I know somebody who chose to wait and date somebody and choose to marry somebody she chose as against who family chose. And we're doing the divorce today. And it's sad because it took years for her to admit, I chose my own myself. In fact, she traveled out of her family and she picked by herself as against her parents' choice. Because we are Muslims, and at the time I married, I had an arranged marriage, and we're best friends till today. Age mates, best friends. And she chose unwisely. She ended up with someone she felt, if I had just, done what you did, and we talk about it. So there's nothing guaranteed in life. What she did then, and when I had issues and we talked, she was like, it's you that went to listen to family or me. I don't do family. But today, she came to my firm, and I'm dealing with it.
Even if she had even picked
the other way around,
she might have picked it too. And anything can happen, really. What we always pray for is that, I always say it, I pray for a beautiful life for myself, and I pray for a beautiful life for whoever is around me. Whatever place
but the question, so whether hounding or no hounding, the question should be, are people, even though people want to try, I encourage people to try everything. This life is just once, you're not coming back again. So try everything. But are people allowed to try at their own time when they are ready? You need to respect that. You might want to try in your 20s. Another person wants to try in their 30s. Another person wants to try in their 70s. People wake up at different times for different things. So people should be allowed to try when they are ready.
I like that. Simple. But also I want to ask, is it possible that there are situations where people do not realize that, that they don't have the mental capacity or the understanding of what to do to be married? So for somebody maybe like you have chosen this path because there are things you need to achieve. There's someone that is single just because they do not know what they need to do to be married. Is there a possibility that there are people like that, and so those people need help? They need a nudge. They need someone to sit down with them and talk to them about strategy, because I think that there's a strategy to being married. Are there some people that are just unaware that there's a way you need to carry yourself? And B, if you are looking for a mate, traditional cultures, even Oyinbo people had it. Once you have gotten to a marriageable age, there's a way you now present yourself. I used to always say, I grew up in a Hausa community. Now I see it was beautiful. Then we used to think it was horrifying. When we reached a certain age, our friends, the girls, immediately, they'll start putting makeup and everything. They'll carry their tele on their head. There's the way they will even start walking differently. We were like, we were just playing in the sand yesterday. What happened? Before you know it, they're getting married because immediately they've taught them what to do. So now I feel that we also need to understand that there may be a group of single people who don't understand that there's a way you need to put yourself out.
So I have to wrap up, but I think I'd like to use this very unrelated story to wrap this up, because I wanted to also harp on what Nima said earlier about community. Yes, it's not about being politically correct. I know that I've shared this story many years ago. In the US, when I had the car accident, I won $100,000, and we used some for school fees and other things. But I had $40,000 to myself, my own money.
Damn, so you were a billionaire one time.
Want my own money, and because I was 18, family left me to be by myself. They didn't come and help me. Morale, how do we help you to invest? What do we do to do this money? Nobody. They just left me. She's an adult. No community. My brother, everybody, and that thing, I lost everything. By the time I spoke to the broker, I had only $500 left in my account.
My goodness.
He had cleaned me out. So that's where the family support comes in. Now, imagine if I had that money and I was in Nigeria. All the family, that money, there will be people calling you. What are we going to do? Do this, because family support is there. But over there, 18 and adult, they were respecting me. They didn't do it because they hated me. They were just respecting that. Let's leave.
Maybe if you had grown up there, you would have been old enough and adult enough at that 18 to know
possibly.
what.
So at 18, so at a young woman who is probably young, as I said, it's an unrelated story, but the young woman who feels that you're respecting her space, let her be. But at the same time, she might need a nudge. She might need that support. Say, okay, what should I introduce you to Lagbaja?
The mother and father and sisters, they could have told me this thing that you're telling me. So please don't be in my business.
So that's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.